Hi, my name is Elsie, and I'm here today with,
My name is Juls.
and this is Get to Know Your Favorite Producers. Hi, Jules.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am here.
Tired, I'm assuming.
I'm exhausted, but I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. Like I was just saying, I was doing a producer series, so when I saw your DM, I told him, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Cause like I grew up just listening to a lot of your music produced, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's a full circle moment.
Thank
I'm
you.
happy.
No, I appreciate it. I love your podcast. I love your interviews. I
Thank
feel like
you.
they're just very insightful. I really like the Odumudu one especially. That was actually a lot of fun.
It
Because,
was.
I think I just like how you let people feel at home. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
in their own
appreciate
space.
that.
So yeah, no, I'm a
Thank
fan
you.
as well.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. So I have a lot of questions today, and I just wanted to first just ask you how you got into producing. Was that always the plan for you?
No, not really. Like music was definitely not the plan. I developed not necessarily a habit, but an interest for beats.
Okay.
Like I'm an avid listener of music. Like growing up, there was jazz and there was reggae and there was high life in the house. I didn't learn any instruments. It's so funny that my brother and my sister, they learn instruments at a level. Like my sister got to a high level in keys. My brother played, the guitar, but none of them did music. For me, my background was literally banking, investment banking.
Oh wow, would have never guessed
Yeah,
that.
so my whole my whole educational background, an undergrad in finance, I have a master in finance. So the goal was literally
Masters.
to be
That's crazy.
yeah. So I was working in that field for like 10 years, but I started making beats like 2007, like the final year of uni. And when I started making beats, I was literally just trying to emulate certain sounds like Kanye West and Jay Dilla.
Oh, I see. A lot of people can relate to that.
So I think when he dropped College Dropout, there must have been a website where they had all the samples that he used. So I would take these samples and then chop it up the way that I wanted it to, or try and make it sound exactly like how he did it. Then I knew that, okay, I have the ability to do something. It's time to do my own spin. And,
Wow.
15 years later, here we are.
Man.
Just kind of like building my craft over the years, trying to find an identity for myself. But I had to teach myself how to make beats, and it was a fun process along the way. So yeah.
Self-thought, that's crazy. I feel like when I first heard a Jules produced song was Mr. Eazi. And I don't know if a lot of people like know this, but I feel like what you did with Mr. Eazi really changed the sound of Afrobeats back then. Because I remember before then it was the tempo was a lot higher. It was
a lot
like the
faster,
pom-pom type Afrobeats.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Eazi came in with, was it Skin Tight?
So
Or Hold Up?
it was a very interesting run. But you're right. I think at the time, a lot of the music was kind of like South African influence. Whis Kid and Davido, they were tapping into a lot of the Afro house from the Juls and the Maparisas and all of that stuff. So like, the Show Me, what's the Whis Kid record's name? Show Me the Money.
Show Me the Money.
And Davido, the Skelewoos and all of that stuff.
Right.
We started off with Bankulize, which was kind of like a remix of an old song that he put out that he just put out on a mixtape. He wasn't even really pushing it.
That's Mr. Easy, right?
Yeah. And I remember when I was making beats, I was making all of these hip hop beats. Like how I started making beats was just hip hop, boom bap stuff. But I had to go a little bit commercial if I wanted people to kind of like take my music and you know what I'm saying. So I had to find an artist to do that with. So I was just searching the internet, just looking for artists here and there, boom, boom, boom. Came across Mr. Eazi, who put this mixtape out with this guy called Clue Monster. This is 2013.
Damn.
I listened to the records and there was a song on there called Bankulize, and I DM'd it. I was just like, yo, this song is fire. Do you have the acapella? And I think he probably was surprised that I sent him that message because at the time, my name, I guess in Ghana at the time, was kind of like building in terms of
coming up.
making all of these beats, but I just didn't have a sound at the time. So sent me the acapella. I did my own version of Banco Lies. I sent it over to this rapper called Papi Kujo,
Okay.
from Ghana, and then the sound just took off. People didn't know what the sound was.
People didn't know what that sound was.
But it just sounded
like...
great. It was just like, what is this? And it started building from there. Then we did Skin Tight, and Skin Tight just took off.
Straight up.
And then after that was Hold Up, and then
just hide it.
Shit on them.
Was there something special about Mr. Eazi that made you like want to build with him? Because like you're saying 2013 you found like a song, but like we really didn't know, at least on a mainstream level, who Mr. Eazi was back then. So what about him just like really just drew that home?
I think it was the music was just making a lot of sense at the time. I think because we were able to churn a lot of these records, and you need to think about at the time when we're putting these records out, all these conversations about numbers and the streaming and
it wasn't a thing back then.
Nobody really cared.
Yeah, no one cared.
It was just good music, but
Did
the
it
good
sound
music just sounded so good, and everybody was just literally playing it. We definitely had an era between, I guess, 2015, 2016. It was a very good era of, you know, that type of music. And I think when we were making all of that music, other artists
started reaching out.
So the likes of the One Days, you know, I remember meeting One Day Cole for the first time at an Eazi concert in this place called Roundhouse in London, which is like 3,000 cap. And I saw One Day Cole backstage. And the reason why I even got into making African music or Afrobeats is because of One Day Cole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm a big...
He's like an OG when it comes to that,
The thing about One Day is just his ability. Like, he's a singer.
His ear for melody
is crazy.
Insane.
So when we have our sessions, this is literally just me. Behind the boards, Mike, he's just sitting down like this. He's just doing melodies for hours. And then you just have to literally sit down and then chop it here and there. And he's like, okay, we have this. All right, let me go home. And then we'll come back and we'll write everything. That's literally how the process is. And he can sing over any beat that you give him. So yeah, that's kind of like how it happened. And then the Burners came, and then I just kind of like started building a reputation for myself. Then, you know, the Wiz came as well. When Afrobeats started growing, I guess more on a global scale, a lot of the artists over here, you know, wanted to tap in. So the likes of Masego and the likes of, you know, the Gold Links. And I had the opportunity to produce records, you know, for those albums as well. And yeah, just get a chance to come to the States more, DJing in different places, having parties all over the place, just kind of like building my name. I feel like I've been to New York so many times. I try and come to New York at least 2-3 times a year because I just built a very solid fan base here. And, you know.
How's that journey just felt, you know? Just seeing where you were back then, let's say 10 years ago and now.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
It's just been go. Like, it's only probably, it sounds crazy, it's probably only last month or the last couple months that I've kind of like taken everything in. Reason because I purposely wanted to celebrate like 10 years in the game this year specifically, even though it goes into 2025. It just kind of like kicked off from like September to October because I dropped my album, did my live show in London, taking it into 2025 where I'm going to do a tour and like put out some more music.
Fire.
But I've just been reflecting, I guess, a lot of the milestones and, you know, conversations and what you could do if you didn't do this. Decisions that I've made. I don't really have any regrets, but it's been a very rough road. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's never smooth.
Yeah.
For people that are like high achievers, it's never just like
Sometimes.
So it's like bumps, hills, valleys,
I
valleys.
guess, yeah, some people have a way of kind of hiding, or I guess they have a very good game face to
Like
protect themselves.
masking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because personally, I don't have a good poker face. So if I'm going through it, you're
You
going
see
to
it.
see it
Same.
in my hair. You're
I
gonna see
always
in
say
my,
it.
yeah,
Some people are good at hiding it, but me, if I'm in a bad like state, you will
space.
know.
Yeah, I'll just tell you straight, man. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do the whole. How's it going? I'll literally tell you my
Not
problems.
good.
There was no rice in that house. The water was no. I'll tell you literally all my problems. But you know, God has been good. I'm grateful for where I am. He's been amazing. The people around me, you know, have been great, supported me as well. And yeah, I can't be any more grateful than that, to be honest.
A lot of people talk about your signature sound. People like to call it the Juls bounce. I feel like it scratches a part of my brain. I can't really describe it, but it does feel like.
Do you hear it?
I hear it. I could
I
tell when
still
you
don't even
produce
know
a
what that
song.
is.
You still really? I
Like,
don't know if it's the
think-
drums.
I
I feel like your
think,
drums are so unique.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to understand what people mean, because sometimes I'll hear a song that's not produced by me, and I'm just like, this sounds like something I'll make. And then I'll probably get a message like, yo, did you make this? Hey, they're stealing your sound, bro.
You have
taking it,
sons.
I'm just like, okay. But it's not something you can be mad or upset about. It's
Imitation
just like,
is flattery.
do you know what I'm saying? It's just, I mean, damn. Just come and see me so I can get a check and then pay these bills. But you know, it's flattery, and you know, it just lets me know that, you know, people definitely rate my thing, and it just inspires me to just continue to change the soundscapes and try and do something different. So, but in terms of the bounce definitely comes from my influences, which are a lot of, you know, reggae music, jazz. That was literally in the house, and I just complemented it with my roots, African roots. Like every rhythm that I make or every song that I make, you need to hear.
Yeah, always hear like
African,
that high life.
Yeah, you have to.
Thing,
You have to feel it. Like, maybe that's what it is. It could be a spiritual feeling. I don't know, but I just know that always has to be. And whatever I make,
I feel like your percussion is distinct though. Those drums.
I take my
could
time.
always tell.
I really take my time to do. Like, I can literally be behind my laptop and EQing and changing drums and deleting beats, and to a point where, okay, when I even get to a certain level, then I bring the live percussions in when I'm gonna play it by myself, or if I'm in Ghana, there's a drummer. Shout out to Mustafa. He's definitely not gonna see it because he doesn't watch YouTube. But you know, we'll get in the studio and then he just goes crazy with the congas. Or there's another musician in Ghana called Mr. Bebe, who plays something called the atetembe, which is like a flute. And you know, just playing all sorts of interesting sounds that I can literally just take home and then chop up and then just try and figure it out. So I kind of like take my time and make the drums sound a certain way. It might sound nice and appealing on the ear, but it's taken a while to get it to
polish.
Yeah, so yeah.
There's something I always wanted to ask you. I want to confirm if it's true. A lot of people, I saw it online where they said your producer tag, like the girl that says Jules Baby is Amare.
Yeah.
Is it Amare?
It's Amare.
Oh, what was the story? How did that come about?
So Amma and I have probably known each other, I want to say, almost 13 years.
Ooh.
Amma was,
Wow.
she started making music in college when she went to school, I think in Atlanta or Philly, one of them.
I think it's Atlanta.
Yeah, maybe one of them. The way her artistry now is literally what she was trying then in terms of the singing. Her voice has definitely gotten a lot more mature, and even her range is even a lot higher than it was then. But she was a rapper first.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's something I didn't know.
Amma was rapping. That's what she was doing. And then after that, she started making beats. So she produces as well. There was a time when, for my tag, for my beats, my old tag was from a rapper by the name of Prodigy from Mobb Deep, rest in peace. Where he says this bar, before you move on it, pull Juls on it, who want it? It's on a record called Keep It Thorough, HNIC, his mixtape with DJ Clue. So when he said that, I found the acapella somewhere and I chopped it up, so my beats were like, the tag was Juls on it, I did an EQ. This is like literally for the hip hop stuff. When I started making the Afro stuff, I have to make it sexy. I can't be putting
Juls on it.
Come on, man, it's a bit wild still. So I was like, I did a broadcast. I sent a broadcast on WhatsApp to about 15 girls, and I said to them, I need you to say my name in the most sexiest, sensual way possible. Find a quiet place to go and record it. I'm trying to see if I can use it for attack. Some of the voice notes that came out were a bit too erotic. I can't even play that. So it's on one hard drive somewhere, but it was crazy.
That's
crazy. Almost was the best.
Just hit it on the...
Yeah. And so when she sent it, then I mixed it, I EQ'd it, I pitched her voice, and that's literally been the tag.
What?
You know, the whole time.
That's crazy. Actually, I feel like that's good lore to know. I'm a huge fan of Amare.
You know, Amare is amazing. What she's achieved, it's crazy. It's
crazy.
It's amazing how she stuck to her guns, and she's been so experimental, and she didn't listen to anyone. You know, oh, you should do this, or you should do that. But she literally stuck to her guns, and you know, she's shocked literally all her doubters.
Facts.
She's taken the world by storm. She's touring all over the place. She is Ghana's biggest artist.
She is.
I don't care. And on a global scale, like, she's definitely up there. And this is just
100%.
her second album. And I know that the third album is going to be crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
I'm so excited. So I want to go into your album, Peace and Love. So good.
Thank you.
I just want to say it's so good. Like, the quality is just... Because it's one thing for the music to be, okay, this is fire, I could bounce to this, but like when you sit down and you just take in the quality, the mixing, everything is just so high level.
Thank you.
That album title though, Peace and Love, like where did that come from?
A lot of the music was made in very serene environments. I made a lot of the beats in Ghana, I made a lot of the beats in Jamaica, some beats in Brazil as well. And I just felt at peace in all of these places. A lot of the collaborations in the music, however, was built around love. A lot of the conversations that I had with so many of the artists was very deep. Everybody was talking about their personal, you know, relationships and experiences in the industry, life, family. A lot of the music was bright in terms of melodies, in terms of, I guess, sunshine. So I really wanted to put the album out in summer. But I didn't feel like I had enough music at the time. And there were certain people that I really wanted on the album. So I'm like, you know what, let me just make an album that's just going to stand the test of time throughout fall, autumn, whatever, winter, into 2025, where it's just, you know, bringing those vibes. So, you know, I call it Peace and Love. This is also a phrase that I like to use all the time when I'm speaking to someone. I always say peace, 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 or love, love, love. So I was like, you know, let me just, you know, put everything together. Side A, side B, and literally side A is literally elements of literally peace from the intro to the tones and everything. And, you know, side B is, you know, very energetic and a lot more groovy. So it's music that's filled with love, because for me, music is all about movement and groove and dancing, and a lot of the message in there is more surrounded around love and emotion and lust and sex and all of those type of things. So, yeah, that's why I call it that.
I love all the features, Odile, Masego, Joey Badass, Tony. But as a producer that you usually just bring artists into your own world, what about an artist makes you want to work with them? Like, what about an artist makes you want to be like, okay, I need you on my album?
A lot of the artists that I've worked with on my albums or projects, I'm fans of.
Okay.
Like, I'm a fan of their music. So I'm reaching out to artists that I feel would want to work with me, I guess, or aware of me. It's a very tricky situation. Of course, I would love Kendrick Lamar to be in my album, but, you know, I'll probably have to go to Compton, and I'm not ready for that life. But I know it will happen. But, you know, Odile, for example, that's an artist who we've been trying to do something for a very, very long time before, this amazing explosion of his career has happened.
I actually just interviewed him.
Yeah, and even his style has changed, because the music he was doing then is not the music that
He's
he's
doing
doing
now.
now.
Facts.
It's a lot more soulful. I was like, okay, I definitely need that type of soul on some of the beats that I was making, when I went away or when I was at camp. With someone like the rapper Wretch 32, who's on the intro. So Wretch is like one of our legends in the UK. One of the greatest lyricists on earth, to be honest. And I needed somebody to set the tone for the album. So when you listen to the song and the drums, the drums, I've chopped up a lot of Nyambingi drums that are very, popular in the Jamaican Caribbean culture, which also stem from Africa, from Ghana specifically. And those drums are kind of like a message to gather people around. So the song starts, there's a guy in the beginning of the song, he's speaking my dad's native language, Ga. He's basically saying, everybody gather around and listen. So basically that's how the album starts, that everybody gather around and listen to what I'm about to put out there. And I think Wretch's verse is so important because it sets the tone, but he's also speaking to me indirectly and putting his arm around me saying, bro, like, look at what you've done, look at your legacy. Like, lift your head up and you should be proud of what you've done. Because sometimes I'm just go and you feel underappreciated.
Yes.
And for someone like Wretch to kind of see that and say that indirectly in the verse was kind of like crazy. So that song is very deep for me.
Yeah.
So, surprises like that, in terms of sessions and collaborations, is kind of like what I love. The record with Joey Badass. So first of all, Joey Badass is one of my favorite artists ever. My brother put me on him when he dropped his tape 1999. Funny story, well, not even funny. When he dropped Before the Money, he came to London and he did a signing for his album in this place called Rough Trade. And this is when I was working in the bank. So I'm literally I'm in my shirt and tie just typing, and then I'm just on Google, and then I see something just by mistake. Oh, Joey Badass in London doing a signing at Rough Trade. I'm just like, Rough Trade? Rough Trade is like
Next
25
door.
minutes from here. So I was like, okay, my lunch break. Because it said to be able to see Joey Badass and get your CD signed, you need to go and buy a CD. Lunch break, went to Rough Trade to get, a copy of the CD and a vinyl. I was like, all right, cool. After work, I'm going to go there and get my CD and everything signed. I'm in the queue. Just imagine, everybody's in, their nice jeans and their
You're like office attire.
I'm just in my black shoe and shirts, like ties.
Suits.
I'm just like, people are just probably like, what's this guy even doing here, man? Got my CD signed by Joey. Said I'm a big fan. Was like, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. And I still have that CD.
Wow.
It's actually in my car. And I've always said to myself that I would love to work with Joey Badass, but I don't know what capacity. When I was working on this album, one of the things I said to myself is I have to get Joey Badass on this album. So I'm just literally looking for
Anyway,
contacts.
anyhow.
These times, obviously, then and now, I'm up now, so...
Of course, you know someone that knows him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I reached out to this young lady in DC called Kafia. Kafia was like, oh, I know somebody who may know him. So shout out to D-Dot. So D-Dot was just like... And I met D-Dot already. So he's just like, nah, I'll make it happen.
Wow.
And he put us together. And we literally recorded the song in the studio just out here. This studio is the same studio that he recorded 1999.
Wait, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good history right there.
So when he came to this, so when he pulled up to the studio with his boys, he was like, he hasn't been to the studio since he recorded that
1999.
tape. And the same engineer who was here, Andrew, he's the one who recorded the tape. So it was literally just
full circle.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I love that. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was really happy about that collaboration, and then he did amazing. And shout out to Mariba as well, who she just
fire
blessed
on
with
that
her
song.
angelic
I love
voice.
Mariba. I want to ask just a rapid fire, some stories behind some of my favorite songs you've ever produced.
Okay.
So first of all, starting with So Miso, One Day Cold. That song is like a madness. Like, how did that come about? Like, just a rapid fire story.
We made that record in the winter 2018 February. I remember it very specifically. He came to London. They came to my studio flat. My studio flat was at the time the size of this room. I literally had everything in here. Bed, toilet somewhere, the kitchen, and then I had my little setup here where I was literally recording. So people like One Day Cold's been there. Burna Boy is recording in that room.
What?
Mr. Eazi is recording in that room. Crazy. I played the beat for him. He loved it immediately. He started doing his melodies. So everything you guys hear on that record were all melodies exactly the same way. Literally.
Freestyle?
The whole thing is a freestyle.
Insane.
Then when he did the freestyle, he was like, Omo, let's try and find out how you can do the structure. I was just like, bro, it doesn't need a structure. Let's just
put it on the track.
Because everywhere is catchy. People will sing along to everything.
And that's facts.
Some of the bars, like he says, ass like a bagel. There's literally bagel on my counter or in the kitchen. I think one of his guys just went in the fridge, took the bagel, put it in the microwave, just chewed it, just left it there. I'm just like, bro, you're not gonna throw the bagel away. Then the guy was like, bagel, make her chop some. He took the bagel, it's just like soft, not a bagel. Then it's like ass like a bagel. So it's just kind of like, do you know what I'm saying? Threw it in there. And then
that's crazy.
Just little words that we were saying during the session, and then he would just literally sing it in there.
Whoa.
And then he just, put it all together.
The fact that he freestyle is insane. Wow.
It didn't take long to do those melodies at all.
Insane.
In fact, it was so good that we gave ourselves 2 days to come back to fill in the words.
Whew.
Yeah. So
True Love, Whis Kid. I think that's a top 3 song on Made in Lagos. And I feel like that was the first song you got like your first like plaque for. I think.
The first True Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did it come about? How was it like working with Wizkid?
I've had quite a lot of sessions with Wiz. Wiz is always recording. Always recording. I can tell you for a fact that this guy has so many songs that are never coming out.
Why though?
Because he's a perfectionist. He's very particular. So we had other records. True Love at the time just had Te Iwa on it and projects on it. So I sent it to Wiz saying, yo bro, send you all of these beats. I'm working on my album. Can you lay a verse on this record for me? The next day, I'm in the studio. I left my phone down. I went out. Come back. I'm seeing 6 missed calls from this guy. I'm just like, oh my days, what have I done wrong? She's like, yo, bro, so that song you sent me, I'm on song sweet now. Can I have it for my album? And he was laughing, and I was like, bro, you can have it, because to me,
it fit right in though. Made in Lagos.
It was perfect, and I hadn't heard any of the other music that had been made yet onto the album. Well, I heard a few songs, but I wasn't aware of the structure, I guess, do you know what I'm saying? And what a lot of people tell me is that it was probably just that song that felt a little bit different from everything else. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think that song definitely changed my life. I'm forever grateful to that man. We've had so many other records after that. We had the record with Buju, Many Ways. Yeah. And then I did a record for him with
More Life.
More Life. So definitely a top 3 Juls record.
Rock Your Body, Burna Boy. That's so good. That is so good. Did you make that beat with Burna Boy in mind?
No. Somiso was made from Rock Your Body. The drum pattern of Rock Your Body, when I was making Somiso, I took some elements out, but the tempos are still the same. You wouldn't hear it.
I'll have to go re-listen.
You really have to like take your time.
In.
But then I added a kick here and there to just give it a different bounce. Now, Rock Your Body was originally supposed to have an artist on there by the name of Nonso Amadi.
Okay. I'm familiar with Nonso.
Yeah. But it didn't work out the way I guess I wanted it to be. because we were working on different records. There was a record that I did for him called Radio. There was a record that he did for my project called Early. But then Rock Your Body was made first. It didn't really fit, or what he did didn't really whatever. So the beat was just literally there. And I finally got connected to Burna Boy through a member of his team by the name of Remu. Shout out to Remu. And he came to my studio flat. With Remu, some other guy, cool. I think he didn't even really know who I was until later on. He was just like, okay, this is who he is. He literally just made himself at home, sat on my couch, picked up my control pad, started playing the video games. Then he started talking about Nigerian politics.
That sounds like Burna Boy.
Then he went to my kitchen, he built a spliff, and then I was playing the beats, and then I played 2 beats, and he was just like, bro, I like all of them, so he's gonna lay all of them. Now, one thing about Burna Boy is he's not going to stop until the song is done.
Cool. So once he starts, it's like, I have to finish.
And we spent a good 4 or 5 hours finishing Rock Your Body. Like, we had to finish it there and then. When we finished, he was like, on my next track. I was just like, bro. This is when I was still working a 9 to 5. There was a session that we had, and
you're like, I got to go to work, bro.
3 a.m. I was just like, on my next track, I was just like, brother, you have to leave my house, bro. I have work in the morning. But, you know, I think those are the regrets that I kind of have. Working full time and not being able to be available to do more sessions, because if I was available, I feel like I would have had a lot more in the bag. So that was Rock Your Body, classic.
Wow.
Grateful.
Love that. And most recently and finally, My Darling Victoni. I feel like that's one of the best Afrobeat songs to come out this decade. The production on there, the drums, it is so good, and people don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. I don't know what happened with that record. I worked on that record with my fellow Ghana brother, Guilty Beats. So we worked on that beat in Ghana actually. During the pandemic, there was a time when I went to Ghana and I was probably there for like 3-4 months. There was no point going back to the UK. There was nothing for me to do. Like, it was just, you know.
Yeah.
So we had this apartment in East Legon, and then we were just making beats. And we had all of these beats, and all of these beats were being made for a session supposed to have with Wiz. We played all these beats for Wiz. Yeah, we played all these beats for Wiz. Yeah, that's good. But he didn't choose any. So, you know, someone from Victonia's team reached out. I sent it over. He was like, alright, boom. I like this one. And then that was My Darling. But I agree with you. It's a song that was kind of like...
It fell under the radar.
Yeah. It can, all these records can always be resurrected. You know?
That's the truth. Now with TikTok and everything.
I'm not trying to dance though. So, you know. But you never know, sir. Something can happen.
Second shelf life.
Yeah.
One thing I ask all the producers that I interview, and I want to ask you, is how do you know when a beat is finished?
Oh, you never know. You know. This Piece of Love album, the distributor company probably even hates me because I was making changes every single day. Like, when I'm listening to the music in the car, I'm just like, no, this shaker is not right. I need to change it. The kick is not hard enough. Sometimes you just have to make the decision and say to yourself, you know what, let me not do too much. Let me just leave it the way it is. Do you know what I mean? But I can spend a fair bit of time on a beat, like 4 days, 5 days. The fastest beat I've ever made is Skin Tight, which took me like 10 minutes to make.
That's crazy. And that was like the one that just shot you up there.
Yeah. That took me literally like 10-15 minutes to make. Like,
you never know.
Yeah. So, you know, it's subjective. You just never know. It could be the mood as well. It could be also how you're feeling. If you're listening to music and you're influenced by something, sometimes it takes you a while to create whatever it is that you're hearing, you know.
Do you have any more artists on your dream bucket list that you're like, I want to still work with?
From Kendrick, SZA.
I hear SZA on Juls.
Yeah, that'd be so great. I'll bust your brain though. I would like to work with Snoop Dogg.
Okay, I don't know how. If you could pull off Joey, you could pull off Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. I'm really a fan of SZA's, you know, cadence.
She's like
and
a rapper.
Like she can just float on literally anything.
Facts.
I feel like she could even put a rap album out if she's serious.
She can. She 100% can.
Ooh, Schoolboy Q.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like I'll have to get into my
hip hop bag
to get those guys, I guess, or just
Q is fire,
complement it
though.
with
Very out of the box rapper.
yeah.
That's why I like him so much. He could just like, you just never know where you're going with him.
Did you hear him on the Tyler records?
Right.
So it was like
he just went in, went out.
I
like,
had no
what?
idea that.
A lot of people didn't even know that was him.
No, I knew immediately because I was like, okay, this is not Tyler. Then I was listening to the bars. I was just like, this is Schoolboy Q. I looked at my phone. I was just like, yeah. So, yeah, Schoolboy Q for sure. So.
If you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing, like starting out as a producer, just tell yourself one thing, and advice you give to people that were in the same shoes as you were 10, 15 years ago, what would you tell them?
Maybe I'll say relax. I was very
tense.
Yeah, tense and all over the place, and obviously because I was doing my 9 to 5 as well.
I can imagine.
Just a lot going on.
Stress.
If I was to go back into time, I probably would have taken a bigger risk and started a lot earlier, so that I'll be able to just continue to build. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Yeah, definitely relax. I'm now starting to enjoy making the music a lot more. I guess that probably comes with my travels, I guess. You know, just always excited to go to different places and just kind of like take in different environments. When I come to New York, because New York is like London on steroids. So
London on steroids.
It's just like, you see the hustle and bustle, like, everybody's on the grind, hustle like, I need to do the same thing as well. So
it's a little too much for me.
I couldn't live in New York.
I can't live in New York.
But, you know, there's just something that just sparks you, that, you know.
That's true, though.
That just keeps you going, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I'll probably tell myself. Just like,
take it
relax,
easy,
bro. It's not that serious.
Well, I finished my questions. And I'm so happy. I learned a lot of stories behind some of my favorite songs. And I just want to say, like, you're doing a great job, man. A lot of people are inspired by what you do. So even if life could get hard and life could get, you know, life could always get crazy, but you have real impact.
Thank you.
So just never forget that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Elsie. Thank you. Much love. Thank you.
Much love. Thank you.